Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. It's another Friday reading vlog. I'm in bed. The light, same as last week, the light is absolutely gorgeous in here and in the lounge, and I'm going to go and read in the lounge in a minute. But yeah, here I am in bed at a bit of a lay-in today because I went to the theatre with my cousin Laura last night to see One Woman Show by Liz Kingsman. It was fantastic, hilarious and brilliant. But we didn't get back till really, really late, like gone midnight. And then me and David were just having a little chat because he'd been to the cinema to watch 2 films. What is the Whitney film called, David?
I Want to Dance with Somebody.
I Want to Dance with Somebody. And he went to see Avatar, so we had a good old catch up about that. Look at that lovely light. So we didn't get to sleep. I don't think I was asleep much before 1, David.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, so I've had a bit of a lay-in and I've been in bed reading this morning because guess what? I'm still reading the same books I was reading last week. I'm still on Outlander. I mean, I'm through this much. It's just a very, very dense book. Let's go and make yourselves a cup of tea.
Yes.
We've got new mugs. And then we'll liaise in the lounge as we always do. Tea. New mugs. So, new mugs. David and I, well, David was only moaning last week, saying how now we've put all our Christmas mugs away, none of our mugs are very fun anymore. And then that very same week, I went to work and the volunteer who comes in and does some volunteering for us, very sweet man, putting things in envelopes and just generally helping out, had bought David and I these mugs for our wedding. So we've got new mugs. So we're having a cup of tea in our new Mr. and Mrs. mug, which is quite apt actually, because David and I today are planning on filming, excuse me, a video about our wedding. So when David's finished work, we'll do that. It's going to take a lot of pulling together because I've got a lot of sort of like extra photos and stuff to insert. But I'm looking forward to filming it and sharing some of the wedding stuff with you. Tablet as well. Oh. For David. For me. Just like I was saying last week, and I will try my hardest not to make this pretty much the exact same reading vlog as last week. The light in here is so beautiful and the little disco ball is just making light on the scenery. It looks so lovely. And is there like, yeah, these little bits here, that's from the disco ball. So as I said, I'm reading the exact same books I was reading last week. So I'm still on Outlander. This is like an 800 and something page book. 863 pages and I'm 570 pages through, so I've still got over 300 pages to go. I am enjoying it. I've talked about a few issues I've been having with it. Well, one major issue, but another issue has come into it, so I'll talk about those now. So halfway through this book, an incident where the main character Claire Randall and her husband Jamie, she disobeyed something that Jamie had told her to do, which did result in her getting into trouble and Jamie having to risk his life to save her. As a result of that, he said that he had to beat her to teach her a lesson. She thought it was a joke. She's from 1940 something and has found herself in 1743. And he wasn't joking. And then there's a whole bit that sort of follows that, because as I said in my when I was talking about this in my video about reading resolutions and reading plans, I'm aware that I'm not against reading things from different times or different places or different countries or different cultures or whatever, where women are treated differently. But what I didn't like about this was that it was sort of a bit romanticised afterwards. He was sort of like, oh, wasn't he so cheeky beating me last night, and like having a bit of a laugh about the fact that she couldn't ride her horse the next day and things like that. So yeah, so an additional issue is that a gay slur has been used to describe somebody in this book, which again is tied up with very much of the time. So it was Claire herself who used the slur. She is from 1946, so that word that she used may well have been a very regular word to use when describing someone who is gay. I still don't find, I don't like the word, I didn't like reading the word, but yeah, so it's tied up with sort of like some feelings I have. But the book itself, I'm enjoying being in this world. I like reading. I rarely read chunky books, but when I do read them, I really enjoy being sort of like in something for such a long time, and that's why I was keen to read the series, because I would have enjoyed being like, I would enjoy, I'm just undecided whether or not I'll carry on with the series, being with this world for 10 books, like, and these big chunky books. So yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing. I think I might give the second one a chance and then see what happens, but yeah, enjoying it, but not without its problems. And then I have I picked up Body Language last week, which are essays on identity, physicality and making space for ourselves, and I read a few of those last week, so I haven't read any more of those. And I'm still listening to the same audiobook that I was listening to last week, so I'm listening to Honey and Spice by Bolly Babalola, and very much enjoying that. It's a campus romance novel, which has a sort of like premise of fake dating, and I've been enjoying that as well. I'm about 2 hours towards the end of that, so that'll probably get finished this weekend. I don't know when I'll finish Outlander, because I thought it would be done by now. I remember saying in the vlog last week, oh, that'll be finished with. But yeah, still got quite some time to do it. Maybe, I mean, hopefully by next week. Hopefully. I need a good session with it, I think. But in the spirit of these reading vlogs, I always like to sort of read something new on the days that I do these reading vlogs, and I think I've got an idea of what I'm going to pick from my books that isn't going to interfere with a fictional historical book, a series of essays about the body, and a romantic campus novel. So I need to pick something from my TBR that isn't going to interfere with those, and that probably I can read. I'm going to read today and then come back to maybe when I've finished Outlander. And I've got the perfect book for that. So let's go over and pick those. She's even taken her blanket off. Let's go. I'm going to pick this Mallory Blackman autobiography called Just Sayin, which is about Mallory Blackman. We'll talk about this a bit more. And I'm also going to bring over, just because I need to talk about this, is Boys Don't Cry, also by Mallory Blackman. So let's stack ourselves in a bit more with, fill up the TBR a little bit more. Oh, that needs to go the right way up. And then I also need to bring over Poem for Every Winter Day, the Lit Chat cards, and new for 2023, the Ultimate Reading Challenge. So let's go and talk about these. David and I have got a very, very colourful house. We've got very colourful bookshelves, very colourful sort of furniture, and soft furnishings. And how is it that I've managed to find the least colourful corner of the house to record this? But here we are. So, as you would have seen, the books that I picked were Mallory Blackman's autobiography, Just Sayin, My Life in Words. Mallory Blackman is an author in the UK, black British author, and she has written a series of YA and children's books, some of the most famous ones of those being the Noughts and Crosses series, which has been adapted into a BBC drama, and Pig Heart Boy, which I remember people's kids studying at school, so I know that's been, but I mean, she's got a whole backlog of, I wonder if it's in here, all the books she's written. No, it's not. So this is her memoir, and I really enjoy her writing, so I'm very much looking forward to reading that. And I sort of tend to get through memoirs quite quickly, and I also think this would be quite good to sort of pick up, so read today and then pick up once I finish the other stuff, because like the information in here will stay in my brain rather than mixing with a historical romance in 1743 or essays about body or a campus romance set in modern day. So yeah, I've picked this up and I'm looking forward to reading it. I got it for Christmas off my friend Emma, and I can't wait to read it, so looking forward to that. Then you would have seen that I picked up another book by Mallory Blackman. This is Boys Don't Cry by Mallory Blackman. It was published in 2010 for the first time, but it's been republished, reissued last year. And my sister's lent me this book. So my sister is an English teacher for a secondary school, and this is the book that they're going to be teaching this year, or maybe a bit later on in the year. And she read it and really, really enjoyed it. And I hadn't heard of this book by Mallory Blackman and was like, oh, I will definitely read that. So I need to read this quick-ish because my sister needs it back so that she can type it. And this is, so she can teach it. And this is her copy because she's folded over some pages of bits that she thinks will make good for good teaching and good discussion. So yeah, whether or not I get onto this today, I wanted to include this in the Mallory Blackman discussion. Whether or not I get into this today, because if I'm being honest, I would probably like to finish the Honey and Spice before I go on to that, because that is a sort of like romance novel about two black people in the UK, and this is not a romance novel but a novel about two black people living in the UK. So I try not to sort of like, in the same way that I wouldn't have picked up another historical romance today, I'm just trying not to like merge everything too much together. So I will start reading this hopefully this weekend, because I imagine I'll have finished the audiobook this weekend, so that will also be being read. So that's sort of like not on my, maybe won't be read today, but on the old TBR. So this is what I'm going to start with my cup of tea, and then when I'm eating breakfast I will probably dip back into body language and Outlander today as well. Maybe I'll do a chapter or an essay of each, and then we'll finish the video as we always do with a poem for every winter day. Today is the Friday the 13th, spooky, and we'll also answer a lit chat question. So let's pick the lit chat question for today, and then we'll have a look at the ultimate reading challenge and see what of these that I could get a little reward for today. So still not good at shuffling these. Okay, let's go for Kindred. Have you ever been part of a book club? What made you decide to join? Was it a good experience? That's a great question, and I will very much looking forward to answering that later, because you may well be part of my book club if you're watching this. I'll read it again. Have you ever been part of a book club? What made you decide to join? Was it a good experience? So I've got a whole history of book club chat to have with you later on, so looking forward to that. And then the ultimate reading challenge. So if you weren't here for last week or haven't seen my Christmas gift guide, this is a book which has a whole host of 25 different reading challenges, each with different prompts to help you do that. So last week it was find and read a book that is much longer than your usual reads. So 860 whatever pages is much longer than my usual read. So that was my book. That was my challenge last week. So there's a few things I could do today, because I do have plans to go to the library today. Now, my local library is a sort of 15-20 minute walk away, and I need to go there today to pick up some books and to pay some reservation fees. So I'm a member of two libraries, one that's near my work and one that I live near. And the one that I live near, you have to pay £1 for reservations, which I'm happy to do because I want to fund libraries. But once you've got to a certain amount, you can't put any more reservations on. So I've put 10 reservations on, so I've got £10 to go and pay. So I've got to pick up 3 books and pay the £10. So I've got to go and do that today. So that is something, so I could do something that involves a library. So there's a few things. Read in a place you've never read before. I don't recall ever having sat in the library and read, so that could be something. We've also got other library stuff. Go to your favourite section of the book library or bookstore, blindly take a book off the shelf and take it home to read. Now, that is a good one, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that today because I've already picked the book that I want to read today. Anything else library related? No, there's nothing else library related, but other stuff that I could do is listen to a reading themed podcast. As I said, I'm walking down the Ella Mini, and I could listen to a reading themed podcast. Or I could read a book by an author whose ethnicity is different from your own. Mallory Blackman's ethnicity, is different from my own. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go for read a book by an author whose ethnicity is different from your own. It's this size, so I don't know what will be in there. Minnie's coming over. Minnie's been a bit poorly these, but not poorly, but she's just very old now, guys. Come on, baby. And she's just taking life very gently. And she's still eating, but not as much as she used to. And she's still drinking, but not as much as she used to. And she's doing a lot of sleeping. And I mean, she's 19 in April. This is her tale. So we always knew that this time was going to come. And she doesn't seem like unwell, but she's just like very slow and her little back legs keep going. If she seemed unwell, I would take her to the vets, but taking her to the vets is such a big thing. She hates going in the car, she hates going to the vets, but I think she's just old. I think that's what it is. If I thought she was in any pain, then I would do something about it. Hey, baby. But yeah, so she's just been a bit slow and not eating as much. We gave her some tuna yesterday. She's also because she's a Persian, they're quite susceptible to renal failure, and about a year ago we found out she was in renal failure, but it wasn't as bad as we thought, and we were able to manage it with food. So she's on special food, but yesterday, because she hadn't eaten many of her biscuits, we gave her a little bit of tuna, which she absolutely gobbled up. And yeah, I mean, we don't often, I can't remember the last time I gave her some tuna, but she loved it, so that was nice to see her enjoying something. But yeah, I think we're just getting to old lady phase, aren't we? Very much the winter of Minnie's life we're in. Oh, bye then. So yeah, so those are the plans. So I'm going to read Just Saying. We'll get the reward later. We'll answer the question. Oh, Minnie, sorry. She's trying to go out there and she... have you ever been part of a book club? What made you decide to join? Was it a good experience? And then we'll have the poem for every winter day a bit later on. And then, as I said, plans for today, go to the library a bit later on. I don't know what time it is now, but the library closes for an hour and a half for lunch. So I think I'll probably go for the afternoon session. It reopens at 2. And tonight David and I are going to play a Dungeons and Dragons board game that we've got that we're very, very into. And have tofu schnitzel, pickled potato salad and green beans for dinner, which we're both really excited about. And also the US series of The Traitors is now all on iPlayer. You'll know that David and I loved watching The Traitors on the run up to Christmas. And the US series is on iPlayer, so we might give that a go tonight. Or watch a film. But I think mainly the day is for reading. I'm going to read this while I drink my tea, have my scrambled eggs on toast, have a shower, get ready, and I'll fill you in on how I'm getting on with the reading. I will. I'm showered and ready for the day. I'm in this, I bought this for myself as a little Christmas present. She said, I'm about to show you something else she bought herself as a little Christmas present, in Sainsbury's. And it's the softest roll neck and the brightest colour. And I think it goes so well with these purple tights. Speaking of which, so change of plan first. We're now having the Gousto thing for lunch because we've got my mum, dad, sister, brother-in-law and niece coming over for takeaway tonight and then to play some games. I bought my dad the game Cascadia for Christmas, which is a little bit like the game Meadow that you might have seen us play, or maybe not. Mercedes got it for me for my birthday. And we played it on New Year's Day and I really enjoyed it and I wanted to play it again, so my dad's gonna bring that along tonight. And maybe we'll play Dungeons and Dragons, but I don't really know. And yeah, so that's happening. So it is just gone 1. The library, as I said, closes and reopens at 2 for after lunch. So I'm going to walk down to the library for 2 to collect my books and then come back. And David's going to have dinner, lunch ready. And then I'm going to spend the afternoon reading. Or David and I have got to also film that video. But yeah, I'm ready now. So I just thought I would show you a few things that have just come in the post. So first of all, I'm talking about my tights. I ordered myself, the day after Boxing Day, 5 pairs of new knickers, because these Snag knickers, I've got a pair on now, are the best knickers I've ever owned. So 5 pairs of new knickers and 5 pairs of Snag Tights, with the hopes that this will do me for the year. So I had a sort out of my drawer where my knickers and socks and pyjamas were, and had a big sort out because I was like, couldn't even close and open it. And I got rid of all knickers that weren't my snag knickers, which meant there was only 4 pairs left. So I've been on a rotation and quick wash system. However, I have also been on my period, so I've been using my period knickers too. And then I got rid of all my tights that weren't Snag Tights because I just think these are the best. They wash up really well. I've had these for forever, and they're just so good. They're just so good. So I'll just open one of each of these. So I bought myself size E. So the sizing's really good because it goes on your dress size plus your height. So you're never like, so these tights go right up to my crotch. I'm never pulling them down or anything like that. I mentioned the knickers in my Christmas gift guide this year. I mentioned the tights in my Christmas gift guide last year. So they come in all sorts of different, these are actually the very same pair of knickers I've got on today. So these are the lobster red in a full brief. And they're just so nice, and yeah, they've got this really nice sort of like band, so if you've got a shirt on or something, it doesn't show underneath, and yeah, they're just lovely. So I bought myself 5 pairs of knickers in varying colours, some blacks, some purples, that's in suffragette. Yeah, it's some lovely knickers, so very pleased about that. And then I bought myself some tights, and I'm in an E in tights as well. So I got myself 3 pairs of black tights because despite loving all this colour, I do wear black tights still, and all of my black tights, when I threw them away, were mainly had it, not Snag Tights, but I needed a pair of black tights. So those 3 pairs of black tights, they all come in like recyclable packaging as well, which is lovely. Then I got the suffragette colour tights, which are lurid purple, which I'm very excited about. This colour, which I thought would be fun also because I have to wear, for my choir, the choir colours are purple, and I don't have much purple stuff, and I thought, well, if I can get myself a pair of purple tights, I can just wear black on top and have a pair of that, and that can go all year round. And then they do this thing, and I've already got the black and white pair of these, whereby they have a pair of tights where you've got one leg one colour and the other leg the other colour. So this is suffragette pie. So we've got the suffragette colour one here, and this is from raspberry pie. So when I've got these on, I'll have one purple leg and one pink leg, and I love them. And I've already got the black and white ones, which are called whack. And yeah, I just think they're super fun. So those have arrived, and I'm so delighted. And also, as I said, I ordered them the day after Boxing Day, and they hadn't arrived, and I thought, sure, there's been like Royal Mail strikes and things like that. Maybe that's what's happening here. And I got in touch with them and said, oh, I still haven't had my parcel. And they checked and they said, oh, for some reason it's on its way back to you. We'll send you out another one. And I was like, oh, thanks so much, but I'm really desperate for it because I've thrown all my other knickers out and I'm working on a very rotation basis for 4 pairs of knickers. And then it comes to me the very next day, so that's so kind. And then I also just wanted to show you my Paper Gang subscription box. So Paper Gang is a subscription service that has also appeared in my Christmas gift guide, and I've gifted it to people in my life, my friend Emma, my friend Kate, my sister. And every month you get one of these boxes which arrives with stationery in it, and every month it is a sort of collaboration with an illustrator and artist. This month is Otto Iram. I need to cancel this because as much as I love it, and I really do love it, I'm getting to the point now where I'm getting quite a lot of the same stuff, and I think it might be, yeah, so I think I need to cancel it. As she says, she's just received something that she also has the same thing of. So it's all lovely stuff. It was, I think it's a little bit more expensive now. I'm on the old tariff, so it's $39.99 for 3 boxes. So you get a box a month. I've got this planner. Oh, actually, which is different to the normal planner, to the other planner I was getting. So that's fine. And this is all, so that's very good. I love these. These are going to come in very helpful. Little bulldog clips in bright colours. Always super helpful. Little sticky notes. Then a lovely pen. Oh, this is lovely. Oh, this feels nice. David will want this pen. A lovely pen, which again, always helpful. Has she scratched it? No. I'm trying to get this bit of like wax off the end so you can use it. Let's see how she handles, shall we? New. Oh, this is lovely. No, David's not having that. That's mine. That's like a sort of, it's not a biro, it's like an inky ballpoint thing. And then a little bit of artwork as well, which I have been known to and have on display. These bits of artwork. This is lovely as well. I think this would go very well in a frame in my hallway with the green background. So yeah. So there we go. So it's only 1:15. I still need to have I can't leave for the library yet, otherwise I'll just be loitering outside. And it's very, very cold. My dad walked by walking the dog earlier. We stood at the window talking to him and it was freezing. So I don't want to be hanging around too much in the outdoors. So I think I'll read for a little bit longer and then I think I'll make a move and go down to the library. Would you like to come with me? I can show you my library books that I get as well when I get back. Yeah. Walk into the library. I'm not going to take off my headphones because it's so windy and cold. These are acted as earmuffs as well as playing my audiobook. It's a lovely bright day, but I can't believe how cold it's got all of a sudden. It's been quite mild. Talking about the weather is very British. Anyway, still on the way to the library, enjoying the little out and about. I'll see you when I get home. Well, I'm home. Quite a few books. My husband has cooked my lunch for me. And it was a lovely little get out and have a little walk around. We were hoping, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it now, we were hoping to, David got me for Christmas, as well as this lovely coat, membership to National Trust, and we were going to go to a National Trust place on Sunday for a nice walk, but I think maybe now we're going to his parents for dinner, so maybe it'll be another week that we do that. Just going to put my coat and stuff away, hold on. Oh, lunch smells lovely, and I've just seen that David's got Richard Osman's House of Games Tuesday's episode lined up. We're getting to the very end of Richard Osman's House of Games. We've only got, I think next week is the last week, which is very sad. And then we'll have to wait till, I think September is the next time it's back. They film like job lots of them. Put it in my books and my bag from last year. I'm going to film a library haul next week, so I won't dwell on many of these books. I'll just show you them quickly. So we've got Swimming in the Dark by Thomas Jedrowski, Tale of the Bluebird by Nee Ayekwe Parks, a bit shiny because they're library books, Crossing the Mangrove by Maurice Condé. Those were the ones that I had reservations on. I had 10 reservations on them, as I said, and they're £1 each, so I paid my £10 fee, which I feel thrilled about. So I've got 7 more to come in. Then I've got the hardback one of these from my other library, so I need to take that back. I've got In the Shadow of Queens. These are the Tales from the Tudor Court, so you may well know that last year I did I read all of the 6 Tudor Queens books by Alison Weir, and this is a sort of companion thing where she's done some little short stories. So this is the Jane Seymour short story, and it says The Grandmother's Tale, so these sort of like go along. So I thought this would be nice to revisit that lovely time I had last year. And anyway, I had this out in hardback from the other library, but I'd much always prefer to read a paperback. Then I've got The Saint of Lost Things, which I've had out before and then never read, so this has come back to me. And I shouldn't be telling you about this because, as I said, there's going to be a library haul. And this I'm probably going to read during the Irish Readathon. Then we've got Black England by Gretchen Gazina. And then lastly, and I will just quickly tell you about this, this is, excuse me, The Little Library Cookbook by Kate Young. I've got the Christmas version of this. So this is perfect for a little thing, a challenge that's in my Ultimate Reading Challenge book. So in here, there is a challenge that says, make or order a snack or a meal described in a book you've read. Well, this is a whole host. This is 100 recipes of recipes from books. So for example, oh my god, the one that I've opened it up as might even be the one that I end up making. So this is vanilla layer cake, and this is from Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery, which you'll know is one of my favourites. So I thought, oh god, yeah, I might make that. And crumpets, they're from Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I'm gonna have a little browse of this and find something, and I'm gonna make something in one of these Friday reading vlogs, and that will be my Ultimate Reading Challenge little reward for that day. But yeah, great book. So as I said, there'll be a book haul, a library book haul. Oh no! I'll do a library book haul next week, so that'll be up at some point, because I've got some books that I got out from the library already this year, and I've got to go and pick up some reservations from my other library, and who knows, some of my 7 reservations from this library might be in too. I love the library, and also I've been reading the Mallory Blackman book. I'm doing very well. I'm about 70 pages in. It's down here. Oh, I'll get that out because I'd like a little browse of that. I'm about 70 pages in of the Mallory Blackman book. Let me tell you honestly how many pages I am in. 66, all right, that's almost 70. And I'm really enjoying it. So she's talking about the love of the libraries and how a library sort of saved her as a child. She was homeless for a while as a child after her father left and the bailiffs came round. I'm also really enjoying her love of sci-fi. She talks a lot about certain episodes of Star Trek and how she's pulled what ifs, which she sees as a very sort of like science fiction idea, like if this didn't happen, what would that have happened, into her writing and stuff. I'm really enjoying it. So after we've watched House of Games and eaten lunch, I'm going to read some more of it, and I'm going to have a little browse through of this. But yes, a good reading day is being had. Well, good lordy, we've just filmed the wedding video. Oh my god, I think it's gonna be like over an hour long. So, and there's not really much sort of snipping down we can do of it. So that's coming up soon. So I look forward to that. Yeah, it's taken a really long time. So, oh my god, it's now 4:30. I need to find out what time people are coming tonight. Let's have a look. I think we're going to Lauren and David. Yeah, we are. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so I've got my family and that lot coming round. I need to have a little tidy up. I don't know if I'll get any more reading done between now. It's 4:30. It might be a bit later. We'll see. But I'm going to go and do that, and I'll show you the games maybe. I'm sort of thinking I want pizza. We've just been talking about pizza, and I sort of think I want pizza. We'll see.
Bastard. Swine.
Oh, do you want to reset?
You resetting?
Yeah.
Come on, get them foxes out.
Yeah, 4 foxes.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
they're the worst. All of that.
All of that old shit.
Foxes do.
You get one for every odd creature you've got round.
Yeah. They're quite good fillers at the end though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some. All right.
They give you a few.
What an evening. My mum won Cascadia. Did you enjoy it, David?
Yes, it was good.
You got in those pyjamas, like the quickest man getting in pyjamas ever. They've just left, it's about 10:20. I'll get all my gear together and I'll answer my questions and read your poem and get my little reward out of my book before... What are you going to do, David? Are you playing or are you watching?
I can play.
He's going to play while I do that. Okay. It was so warm in here earlier when there was people here, and now everyone's gone. It's really cold. So I'm going to get myself wrapped up in a blanket. The reading day itself has gone quite well today. I read an essay out of Body Language, quite a long one, by Brian Washington, about football, American football, which was enjoyable. And then I've read, I don't think I've read any more of this since last time, 66 pages of Just Sayin by Mallory Blackman. And I can't remember how many pages I started this on. I'm sure I said earlier, but I'm up to 588 in here. So overall, I've read over 100 pages of book today and listened to, sorry David, listened to another sort of hour of audiobook, maybe not quite an hour. Let's answer the question, the bookish question, which was, have you ever been part of a book club? What made you decide to join? Was it a good experience? So in my time, I've been part of 1, 2, 3 book clubs, all of which I've run myself. I've never been part of a book club that I haven't run myself. Although one of my book clubs now, I do get to join in with as a sort of like reading club member. So I used to run a face-to-face book club at work. I started running it, God, I would say like, well, longer than YouTube's, longer than BookTube's been going on, so like maybe like 12 years ago. And it started off with, I work in a hospital, and I'd worked in various departments of the hospital over the sort of years, and because I'm so into books, I'd always talk to people about books. And when I decided to set up a book club off the back of hearing about my friend Emma, who worked at Waterstones, she joined a book club at work, I was like, I want to join a book club, so I set one up at work, and that was really lovely. And it was a group of people who I'd worked with over the hospital who I hadn't seen for a long time, but I'd messaged to say, look, I'm thinking of setting up a book club, would you like to join? And they brought somebody with them, or they knew somebody in another department who was really into reading as well. And it all started by us all putting a favourite book into a pot, and then we took it in turns to pick them out. And it worked lovely, and everyone, whoever book had been picked, would then bring along some cake, and I would do questions for it all the time. And it took a hiatus during lockdown because no one was in as much, and then we never just got back to it, which was sort of fine, because I feel like it had got to the point where it wasn't so much a book club anymore. It was more of a sort of like, what have you been watching on TV club, and more people wouldn't have read the book and things like that. So I think there was definitely like a few glory years when we were really into it and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it sort of like took a natural end. I also run an online book club on Facebook with some friends, which at one point had like 40 members in it, and it used to run insanely, and that all runs through a Facebook Messenger group. I used to start up a new group every single month with the different people who were joining in, and I set up that up on Facebook and said, does anyone want to join an online book club? We're going to be picking a book and reading it every month. And like I said, to start with, it had like 40 members in it, which was a bit hard for discussion, if I'm being honest, on a Facebook Messenger group, because by the time you'd read something, particularly if you're on your phone, that would have disappeared. And then gradually it sort of like got smaller and smaller and smaller, and now it's a group of 5 of us, and it's a real random mix of people, because it's someone who I used to work with, who still works in the hospital, who's actually a member of my other book club, someone I went to university with, my cousin Laura's friend, and someone who I know her husband. I've never met her before, and then me. So that's 5 of us, and yeah, it works lovely, and we run it every month. And then that got to the point where it was just becoming a bit too much with me doing booktube and running a book club. And I said to the girls who were in it, I was like, would you mind if every month, like, because there's 5 of us, we each take it in turns to pick a book and prepare the questions? And it's been running that way since, and it's really nice because it means I get to sort of like read a book that I wouldn't have ordinarily picked, and answer some questions on it. So yes, that still runs to this day, which is lovely. And then finally, I run a Patreon book club, which some of you well may be members of. If you are interested in any of this Patreon book club stuff, by the way, it's always linked down below. And yeah, so we do a live show at the end of the month. I pick a theme for each month. So at the moment, January's themes was 2022 releases, and we're reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, and we discuss the book on the last Sunday of every month. February's theme is Women in Love, and then March's theme will probably be Irish authors, because I always pick Irish authors for March because of the Irish Readathon. And yeah, there's a live show at the end of every month, and I like a YouTube live show, and everyone's in the chat, and I read out all the comments, and I prepare some questions, and we have a chat, and then have a little bookish catch up as well. And I really look forward to it every single month. I really do. And because I haven't got sort of many overly bookish people in my life, it's really nice to hear like what you guys are reading at the end of the thing and talking about the book. And even if like, because we don't always agree, and even if like we've all loved the book or we've all hated the book or we felt medium about it, the discussion is always great no matter what. So yeah, I love that book club, and thank you if you're a member of it. And like I said, down below if you'd like to join. We're discussing, like I said, on the last Sunday of every month, and this month's book is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, so if you are interested in that. And then next month's book is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. So yeah, if you're interested in either of those, go away, no, go and join it. It's $5 a month to join. Go away and join. So yeah, so the question, have you ever been part of a book club? Yes, 3 times. What made you decide to join? So because my friend was in a book club and I really wanted one, so that. And was it a good experience? Always a good experience. So yes, let me know, have you ever been part of a book club? What made you decide to join, and was it a good experience? Then my ultimate reading challenge. So my ultimate reading challenge today was read a book by an author whose ethnicity is different from your own. And I have been reading, well actually I've been reading 2 books, because Brian Washington, so I've been Just Saying, Mallory Blackman is a black British woman, and then Brian Washington is a black American guy. So yeah, 2 different things I've read from people whose ethnicity is different from my own. So what, excuse me, my other book fell over. So let's have a look and see what the little treat is for today. Last week I got stickers. This week, David, are you excited to see what I got?
I'm excited.
Oh, little book plates.
What's a book plate?
So they're little stickers that go in the front of books that says this book belongs to, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Look. Oh, this book belongs to.
Ah, that's
and they're
very
all in
cute.
different colours, so yeah, little book plate, little sticker book plates that you can put inside books, which is really, really nice. Really, really nice. So 2 lots of stickery type things, so very enjoyable. And then let's just read a poem. So today is the 13th of January, Friday the 13th, spooky. Wonder if it is, oh no, because it won't know it's Friday, will it? Okay, so we've got The Land of Storybooks by Robert Louis Stevenson, or The Midnight Skaters by Roger McGough. I think we'll go for the Midnight Skaters because we were only just talking, saying apparently it's going to snow next week, so here we go. It is midnight in the ice rink and all is cool and still. Darkness seems to hold its breath, nothing moves until, out of the kitchen, one by one, the cutlery comes creeping, quiet as mice to the brink of the ice while all the world is sleeping. Then suddenly a serving spoon switches on the light and the silver swoops upon the ice, screaming with delight. The knives are high-speed skaters, round and round they race, blades hissing, sissing, whizzing at a dizzy pace. Forks twirl like dancers, pirouetting on the spot. Teaspoon, who take no chances, hold hands and giggle a lot. All night long the fun goes on until the sun, their friend, gives the warning signal that all good things must end. So they slink back to the darkness of the kitchen cutlery drawer and still themselves to wait until it's time to skate once more. At 8 the canteen ladies breeze in as good as gold to lay the tables and wonder why the cutlery is so cold. Did you like that, David?
Nice.
That was fun, wasn't it? So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me for another Friday reading vlog, and I'll see you all again soon.